Where the cows go?
Home.
Meow. All right, so we got a few things to do to start this project. You know, I can't just buy something, use it right away. I gotta modify it, make it my own. So we're gonna do some pretty radical stuff right away. What I mean by radical is we're gonna dovetail the living hell out of the back of this, probably dovetail the front of it, put a winch on the front of it, put these 37s I got for 200 bucks on the front of it. So I'm gonna start tearing apart the bed and taking off what I need, deciding where I want to cut to dovetail, because we're going to dovetail the original bed and we're just going to save the skins on it. I think that's going to give it a much cooler look than building a flatbed out of steel, because I don't know, maybe it's just me, but steel flatbeds on truggies are, you know, a dime a dozen. Everyone does them, and you don't see many reusing the original skins and just working with what's there. And I think that'll be a really cool, unique look for this Dodge 1500. So yeah, I'm going to get to breaking down this bed to where I want it and deciding what I'm going to plasma cut, because that's going to be the fun part. Little bzz bzz action going on in the back. So let's get to it. As you can see, bed's off the truck. Figured that was the best way to do it. All I'm actually going to do is take these outer skins off the very outside of the bed. And like I said, I'm using the tailgate for a bench, and I'm going to use part of the bumper as part of a bumper because it's already shaped. Don't have to redo the shaping. But these skins are going to get tied into the bed via tube work, where I'm going to build tube support and leave this bed middle section open. I'm trying to save as much weight as possible. It's already a really heavy truck, and just using the skins and some simple tube work with no fender should work well. This is all going to get cleaned up. Lights are going to go there. Hopefully somehow going to clean up those cuts and shape it once the dovetail shape and tube work is in place, and then I'll shape the body, grind it down, and so on. Let's go ahead and finish this other cutout up and clean everything up and get started on really building it. This garage is a absolute pigsty, but here's how we're doing the dovetail. So this, a fair warning, this is just so it sits in place. There's gonna be tube work and substructure that comes in, ties everything together. In order to get it even, all I did was tack the tail into the frame directly. That's a 15-inch piece of angle iron in the very back over there. Weld it directly to the old cab mounts and then to the skin. So yeah, that's not going anywhere. But this is just to hold the skin in place, keep it perfectly level. And then there's gonna be 1.5-inch tube work that's gonna tie the whole bed together, and then it's gonna get a complete exo cage. But yes, there will be a 175 or 120 wall DOM roll cage, exo cage around the whole thing, as well as bumpers. So I'm gonna burn the other side in exactly the same. Skins is complete. Same thing on both sides. Really mean look. I absolutely dig it. I love it so much. Once those lights there, it's gonna look really snazzy. So I went ahead and put back in the fuel filler, and now I'm gonna start on the tube work. So I don't have a tube bender here. I've got like my pipe kinker that works for small things, like works enough, but it's not pretty. So I don't feel like adding a bunch of ugly kinks and bends to this 1.5 inch. So instead, to 90s and, you know, different angles, and use my tube notcher laying over there. Sorry, it's a mess, I'm working. And do some straight 90s in the back, straight horizontal, and then a nice little cross in the front. Leave it all notched and minimize the amount of bends that I actually need to do. Let's get to getting this tube cut and notched and welding it in and giving this bed a little bit more structure. So, I mean, it's holding, but I don't want it to wobble, so let's get to it. I got the Dodge turned around, which means that I finished the back, and I just didn't feel like showing you guys in the time lapse because it's mostly just paint and final touches. But ground those down, little rattle can action, you know, just covering up for now. It's gonna get painted better eventually. I tell myself, we'll see. We will see. That's how the cage turned out, or the box I should say, for the bed. I put the spare in the bed as well, just because I had it laying around and I wanted to find it a home as soon as possible, you know, before I put the other 37s on the actual truck. Yep. Wiring, or the lights went right into the 2 rear harnesses with the help of a zip tie in the bottom. They won't go anywhere. I used the spare tire carrier, just flipped it upside down, locked it off, sacrificed a T12 Allen socket, and used that to lock down the spare tire, ratchet out for extra safety. 7-pin harness as well, because why not? So yeah, that's how it turned out. There's a little bit of angle to the lights, but I think it just makes it look sad, which is kind of cool to me, so who cares, right? And then same thing on the other side, just paint, and you know how it is, just paint and covering it up. Nice little motivation, spare tire right there, and yeah, really happy with it. Super happy with it, I should say. It's gonna look pretty menacing with 37s just clearing all right there. I think it'll look really, really cool. So yeah, before I keep Googling at this, let's go knock the front out, clearance the front, put that winch in the front, and you know, finish this buying episode up on this 2001 Dodge 1500. All right, so got the bumper off on the welding table because I'm just gonna build the winch onto the bumper separate and then throw the bumper back on the truck. I think that's the easiest way and safest way to do it. But yes, here's the plan. The plan's going to be to take off the plastic on the edge of the bumper up there and clearance most of that door jamb right there, probably, because 37s are gonna fit with this lift, whether they like to or not. And install the winch and shut it and go test drive and give it a little rip ski. So let's just jump right into it. I think that's the best way to do it. Alright, so what I did was take most of the material out of this bottom section. That way I can bend this in easier. That's going to be just a base plate. It's all going to get gusseted, obviously, because it's a winch, but that's going to get welded to the winch plate. So I know it looks ugly right now, but that's the gist of it. Alright, got the bumper done. Nothing special. I went ahead and cut out the sheet metal to make a bigger opening, folded the sheet metal down, that way the plate had a nice flat spot to rest on. Fully welded that sheet metal. I did 2 passes at each point because it is in fact a winch. As you can see down there, sheet metal is just fully welded. I'll probably go in and do some plug welds in the holes I'm not using, and then try and figure out the best way to you know, mount the winch. It's the plate's meant for it, so it should be super easy. And in order to give the structure to the winch, so it actually can, you know, pull 12,000 pounds without moving, I went ahead and used an extra mount in the ears of the bumper. There was an extra hole going through the ears of the bumper that's not used to mount, so I went ahead and just put a piece of 1-inch thick solid stock through both ends of the hole, as you can see in there, and fully welded the outside of that, and then did triple passes welding that to the winch plate. I think that will hold. I am not 100% sure, but I do think that will hold, and that's going to provide the structure, or the structure going back and forth for the winch. At the end of the day, if it breaks, I'll be taking this to Jake's house anyways to do a roll cage, and I'm probably going to end up mounting the winch on the roll cage, so it's not really that important. I just like to have it now. So I think that'll hold for now, and I think that'll do, and I think that'll provide enough support to be able to pull the Dodge, you know, back and forth with the winch. So we're gonna move on to mounting the Badlands winch and putting it in and wiring it up, and I think we're gonna go chop some fenders after that and make room for some tires. So let's get to it. Winch is installed and wired up. Sorry I didn't really show much of it. There's how those welds tie in for the structure. Yep, I put the boxes right there. I just have it zip tied in. Like I said, this winch and this bumper is temporary until I put the exo cage on it. So you know, a good 2 hours of work to make it, but at least it's on there now. I can go have fun before I do a permanent exo cage mount with it. So I did already clearance the back, or the front tires, a North Cal mod with a little more chop, as the hipsters say. So that's how that looks. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the jack under and put the 37s on. Let's finish this one up. Go have fun. right, guys, went ahead and finished it up without letting anyone see because I was just wiring the winch and doing some small stuff. As it turns out, the front tire is still rubbed, but like you just saw, it still rips it pretty hard. It's just we're gonna have to notch that a little more, which is all part of the learning process. Dogs are at the river about to have fun. Oh, J turn. But that's how it looks. It is definitely a cinder, and get ready for more because paid $3,000 for this and did like 24 hours worth of work, and it's already a fucking ripper. So you know me, just wait to see what happens next with this one.